Scene 16, shot 1, take 1. Hold. Holding. Camera crew ready. Frame set. Action.
The character originated from a sketch I did back in 2019, like in church. Like it was like right after church, there's like a suite for the ministers where I was back at home. And so in that suite, I just did like this on Procreate on my iPad, just with my finger or something, just did a sketch of a masked character. And I couldn't tell you why, but that image always stuck with me. James Outlaw is a personification of everything that I've kind of dealt with growing up as a man, as a Christian man, as an African American, everything that has to do with failure and guilt. And I think he's someone who is trying to wade through all of that and trying to make his own future amidst all of that kind of pain and grief. So he's someone that's close to me in some ways. He's, another version of me, all those kind of skeletons in your closet, all those dark thoughts, all those failures you kind of carry on your back. He's a walking personification of that for me. And so as I went through the process of creating him, I've kind of realized that he could be a personification of those same feelings for other people as well.
It's like he's the good guy, but like, is he? To the bad guys, he's certainly not a good guy. And yeah, I could see he's just been through a lot. He has a lot of pain, a lot of tragedy in his life, that, a lot of guilt, lots and lots and lots of burden. And my vision with him was just being, he's a human. And then so to have like the two extremes of the emotion and, the tragedy, but then also flip the switch and he's bulletproof, so be able to kind of combine that is what I wanted to do. Putting on the mask definitely helps. It's being the clothing and the necklace and just everything definitely helps me feel like him.
So, we didn't have $1 million to do some crazy, Blade Runner-esque costumes or whatever, and that's fine. I think we did amazing with what we had in adapting and creating a believable world. Our crew that we had in art was incredible. I think we did a fantastic job with every asset that we had, and we kind of exhausted every resource. This movie is a weird one. It's a pure genre film, hard to really put the movie into a bubble, and so I think our visuals kind of reflected that. I think Larry really picked up on how outside of things the film is.
Turn it. Yep.
And so I knew with this film, with this like cult-like, activity that's going on in the film, I knew that I had to make some of the shots look weird. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that with my framing. I'm gonna frame them on the wrong side of the frame on purpose, or I'm gonna frame them with too much headroom on purpose.
I wanted to do some like blue light and then like orange lamp and stuff like that, so I can't do it, so it's gonna be basically like nighttime in here the whole time.
But I knew from the jump that I wanted everything to be harsh. Like I wanted the contrast between light and shadow on the faces to be like very sharp. So I didn't use any modification on my lights. I don't think this was the film to do that. I think everything had to be gritty, it had to be a little grimy, it had to be uncomfortable.
You got to ready to suicide.
Sorry about that.
Alright, take out that. Where we can make that work.
Because you can't just light it like a normal face. And I felt bad for that character because I was shining lights straight into his eyes at times because I needed to.
Then we gotta go profile.
Then we do profile.
We're going with profile. Just know you pissing me off right now.
The thing that I appreciate the most about Larry is his ability to just move on the fly and adapt. That was pretty much like a theme throughout the production side of this movie, was that we would get into a situation that we didn't expect, or that we thought was going to be a certain way and it just wasn't the case. And then we just had to adapt on the fly and kind of keep rolling.
The hotel was hard because we were limited to a very small space, and we had new crew members come in that day that weren't there the first day, and we had to figure out how to make sure everybody was working well together without getting in everybody's way.
I think the most difficult day was where we were filming at the Hilton. We were filming Adam Parker's apartment and the crime scene in there.
Because we didn't get to see the space. So I kind of had this, from the pictures, I was like, okay, the space might look like this. And so I shot listed for that. And when I got there, it was like the exact opposite.
which means like right on the fly, like 2 or 3 hours before we were gonna start filming. Art direction was doing the thing, but I needed to sit down with Larry and lighting and the rest of the camera department and just re-block like that entire scene. Cody is also, you know, a tactician, so he knew, he brought a better insight as to how these characters should enter from a realistic standpoint, as well as like where to adjust if we want to bring in some fiction just for the sake of timing. So he helped us kind of restage that entire scene.
Making sure it looked authentic was important to me. You know, not, you know, because sometimes you see the military movies or the law enforcement stuff, and every time, like, we're just like, the army people and the cops were like, nah, that's not accurate. So I just didn't want to be able to have that, but we are working with what we got. You know, like the hotel, where it's like, where there's 2 people clearing this little hotel room. We got to work with like the camera angles and stuff. So making sure it looked at least pretty legit was very important to me.
And while we're doing it, he's actually going to go through the motions, or am I imagining it? I've never done detective or cop work before, so playing a new role for me was interesting. I'm usually very goofy and silly, and this character kind of called me to channel in my seriousness.
A partner, and you're the only person in this city I can trust.
So my partner, Cody, James, was very helpful with teaching me how to hold the gun, how to use your vision to see how to shoot. He was very supportive when I would have emotional parts, and he was very respectful of helping me to get into the zone of the scene.
She has like her way of the character, and compared to like maybe the way I thought of it might be a little different, the way Jeremiah. So to see her bring Detective Corey to life was pretty cool, and she has like that pain as well. We have like a history there, so, and I felt that from her. You know, I felt like I broke her heart. I felt like she was just didn't want to be around me, but like we kind of have to be together.
Because that scene was one I was dreaming up from like the very first draft. Like we kind of reworked that climax for different locations a couple of times, just for the sake of production.
So we ended up going back to that park idea and filming the finale at a park in Davie.
And the stuff we got there is really, for me, what makes it. Because we have all this sci-fi, all this cyberpunk, noir, occult stuff in the beginning, but then we bring it back to a forest, like the most simple of things, to have the most emotional, you know, point of the story.
The final scene was pretty tough because it's the climax of the movie, and you know, it's the last year of James's life kind of coming to like a screeching halt, or maybe it's now hitting me in the face of everything I've been trying to do.
With the climax of the movie, we have our, you know, antagonist Blake Martinez, who's been manipulating all these events. He's manipulated even James and Corey showing him to the woods. And so this is James's first time seeing Blake in person in over a year. So the reasoning behind like keeping Jack concealed from Cody and from Lauren was just to get that natural reaction.
Turn around! Slowly.
And so bringing Jack and being able to do like a full-on reveal, I think was the best way to allow the actors to go through those emotions naturally and really let all that baggage out.
The fear was real. In the moment when everything happened, I really felt the connection, not only to the scene, but to the characters. Like the other actors in the scene were giving me a lot to feed off from.
Yeah, I didn't know that was kind of what he wanted to do. So then whenever I kind of like pitched it from my end, I was like, it'd be really cool to get like the reality of it, where like he doesn't see me, I don't see him. And then so whenever I finally see him, it's really like, whoa, you know, so.
Like, yes, like there was a lot of pressure for that first shot to be well done. He made me do it 5 times anyways. And I think it was actually like the 3rd or the 4th take where I was like, this is the one.
We were holding on him for a while, and Larry was about to cut, but I patted him on the shoulder and was like, no, we got to keep rolling. Because right on the camera monitor, like I could tell with the peaking Cody had started to cry. And so we sit there for a long while, a tear falls on his right eye, and then I instruct him to take the mask off. And then we see, you know, the kind of, his mask, the makeup is all messed up. He sheds some more tears. And for me, that's probably like, that is the movie.
I feel relieved that we actually got everything done, and like that's one of the hardest parts, to like get it from script to screen, so I'm proud of that.
But surreal is like the only real word I can define it as, because I'm just blown away by the fact that we did it, blown away by the fact that we had a passionate crew that was there with us, with me helping all of this come to life.
Like I walked in, I was like, oh my God, like there's so many people here. But it was cool, because it's like, you know, this is like a student project, so to speak, I mean, for what I'm understanding. And so you guys, I mean, coming in on the weekends, staying late is later than me. You know, I get released and I can go home and sleep, but you guys are doing all this other stuff. And but it's pretty cool, because again, it's like whether my career goes anywhere or not after this, I mean, I'll have this forever.
Yeah, I was very impressed with everybody, and the lunch time was cool. I mean, it's just a lot of jokes, and you know, those were like my favorite moments, just being able to connect with everybody. Because it wasn't, you know, like I've been on sets where people go eat lunch and some, you know, are over here, some are over here, some are back there. But like, you know, maybe it's because the sets were tight, but like everybody ate together. And I think it kind of created this family dynamic that which then like everybody worked harder for each other, not for the reel or not for the resume. And so that was really cool.
I really loved working with everybody, and my grandpa did pass while we were filming, and everybody made me such a sweet card, and it really helped me so much. It was easier to get through because of the support of everybody. So I would say my favorite part was working with all of you and showing me what a community really is. It was so beautiful how you all came together.
Sets are like the one place in like the academic setting or whatever where I feel most at home. Like I'm sitting with characters that I've created, I'm sitting there with friends that I love, people that I care about, and we're doing, you know, one of the most ancient things you could ever do as a human being, that's tell a story. And so for me, I'm so proud and so thankful for everyone who's participated in any kind of way. You know, this is my senior project, I'm getting out of here. You know, I already have plans on what I want to do, but the reality is, I don't know when I'll make a movie again. So, you know, if God forbid something happens and this is like the last thing I do, I'm proud of it.
Everyone will come to Gainesville Festival just to see it. I feel like
You look kind of beautiful, dog.
Oh, are you doing a move? Run!
You're not gonna me E-boy, bro.
But I don't know where that's taking us.
That's a rat, brother!
Oh, I mean.
Is that really
It's like going to the strip club and falling in love with your first dance.
Hello, I'm Michael Knight.
you ready? I know he's doing his fucking thing. He was like, let me know when you're gonna do it. That's a wrap on James Outlaw. It was a pleasure and honor with each and every single one of you. All of y'all stepped up and impressed the fuck out of me. I know it was like 6 days. You guys are fucking awesome.